Sir, I think you have the wrong car.
Casey, along with two other girls, finds herself locked in the subterranean prison. Their captor is a man who moves with rigid, unsettling precision. He isn't just holding them, he's studying them, analyzing them like a scientist observing specimens in a petri dish. When he first enters the room, he doesn't shout or threaten. He pulls out a handkerchief, meticulously wiping a chair, obsessed with a microscopic speck of dust. In that chilling moment of forced cleanliness, the girls realize they aren't dealing with a typical criminal. This man is fighting wars within his own mind, and they are the unfortunate collateral damage. The personality in front of them is Dennis, a cold, calculated, and dominant force. He looks at the girls with a terrifying detachment, his eyes scanning them as if he's deciding which of them is worthy of what he calls a sacred offering. The atmosphere is suffocating. You can feel the girls' desperation as they cling to each other, trying to piece together the rules of this twisted game. When one girl, Marcia, makes a desperate move to survive, soiling herself to trigger Dennis's obsessive disgust. It works, but only for a moment. He throws her back into the basement, disgusted by the impurity, but the relief is short-lived. He returns, not to let them go, but to force them to scrub the floor until it gleams. The psychological game has begun, and the stakes are life or death. Just when they think they've seen the depths of his instability, the door opens again. But the man walking through isn't Dennis. He's wearing women's clothing, carrying himself with a poise that is somehow more horrifying than Dennis's aggression. This is Patricia. She speaks with a calm, motherly tone that makes the girl's skin crawl. The cognitive dissonance is paralyzing. How do you fight someone who isn't even the same person from 1 hour to the next? Patricia closes the door with a gentle grace, but the chilling realization sets in. There is no escape, because their jailer is a shapeshifter, a man whose mind is a mansion with dozens of locked doors. That night, the dynamic shifts yet again. A young boy appears. He introduces himself as Hedwig. He's 9 years old, impulsive, and clearly struggling to keep the stronger personalities at bay. Casey, sharp and observant, senses a crack in the armor. She plays along, trying to win the boy's trust, probing for information, for a way out. She learns about the window, the hope that there is an outside world, but every time she gets close to a breakthrough, the atmosphere darkens. The boy's innocent expression vanishes, his body stiffens, and the cold, unyielding gaze of Dennis returns. It's like watching a light switch being flicked on and off, with each flicker bringing a new kind of terror. The girls decide they can't wait for mercy. They start scouring the room for a weakness, a loose tile, a crumbling section of the ceiling. When they find a hollow spot, they use their heels to smash through the concrete, debris raining down like a desperate prayer for freedom. They manage to break a hole, but there's a metal barrier, a final mocking obstacle. The sound of their struggle reaches the ears of their captor. In a pulse-pounding sequence, they try to scramble through, but Dennis returns with terrifying speed. Claire manages to escape into the ventilation shafts, but the freedom is fleeting. The architecture of the house is a maze, and every turn leads to another dead end. Dennis catches her, his anger explosive, and the isolation that follows is absolute. As the days bleed together, the psychiatrist Karen starts to unravel the mystery. She receives desperate, fragmented emails that hint at the catastrophe brewing within the man's mind. When she finally confronts the person she thinks is her patient, Kevin, she realizes the truth almost immediately. He's wiping his hands, the signature obsession of Dennis. She isn't talking to Kevin anymore. She's talking to the storm, and the storm is warning her about the 24th personality, the Beast. It's not just a myth, it's a terrifying entity that views the world through a lens of extreme, violent survival of the fittest. The climax arrives with a suffocating intensity. Karen, realizing the danger, tries to intervene, but she walks right into the den of the predator. Meanwhile, Casey manages to break free from the basement, stumbling into the nightmare upstairs. She finds the remnants of the other girls, a sight that chills her to the bone. She discovers Karen's final frantic note. The key to bringing back the original Kevin, it's his full name, is the trigger for the trauma that fractured his soul in the first place. When she faces the monster, she isn't fighting a man. She's fighting a manifestation of pure, unadulterated pain. She screams his name, and for a fleeting, beautiful second, the beast recedes. Kevin is back. He's terrified, broken, and desperate. He begs her to end it, to shoot him because he knows he can't hold back the tide forever. But the transformation is inevitable. The beast returns, and the chase is on. It's not just a pursuit, it's a dance of death. Through a labyrinth of shadows, the moment the beast corners Casey, the tension breaks in a way no one could have predicted. He stops. He sees the scars on her body, the physical map of her own tragic past. He recognizes the same fire, the same survival instinct, the same purity that comes only from enduring the unimaginable. In the beast's warped, broken logic, she isn't food. She spares her, leaving her to face the aftermath of the carnage alone. Casey survives, but she is forever changed. The story leaves us with a haunting question that lingers long after the screen goes black. We often say that what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, but does it really? Or does it just carve us into something completely unrecognizable? Something that can only ever truly be understood by those who have walked through the same fire? If you were in Casey's position, staring into the eyes of a monster who saw his own darkness reflected in your soul, would you feel saved? Or would you feel that you had lost a part of yourself that could never be recovered? Thanks for watching.